Hey guys and gals, welcome back to the Rockford Ordinance. We are here again with another episode of Coffee and Kalashnikovs. So I hope we live up to the rep and bring you a good show tonight. Uh, man, whew, a lot going on out there tonight, and you can hear it in my breathing. Been running around like a madman here. So I'm what's that movie? I'm home alone. The women are out of town. Yeah, the entertainment's coming later, but hey, what's a man to do when he's left to his own devices? But reload a couple thousand rounds, and go to the range and do a little testing on our Sam 5. If you remember that whole fiasco, got an interesting video. So working on it last night and before the show here, and trying to get a video together until one of the dogs ran away. And come here, Max. Did you run away? Did you run away? Come here. Come here. Up here. Up here. Up. So they can see you. No? Okay. Anyhow, she ran away. I think the neighbor has an interesting compost pile because, yeah, she could use a good toothbrushing after she gets back from over there. Can't you? Is about to beat you, but we can't do that. She's too sweet. Anyhow, yeah, craziness running around. But we did get to test the Sam 5 yesterday, and I'll just say this. Interesting is all I'm going to say. So you'll see that. I'm going to start uploading right after. Don't sniff in the microphone. She's deprived since my wife's not here. She's clingy, if you know what I mean, and she's not here, so she just needs a little attention, right? Yeah, so the Sam 5's cool. Man, there is so much going on in the news. I don't even know if I want to start. I don't know. I'll just say this. We had the hearings going on the last few days in Congress talking about the pistol brace rule, right? And pretty much guaranteed that we were going to get rid of it. And I think they had like one day to go or just wrap it up or waiting on the vote, which was supposed to be today, this morning at like 10 o'clock. And I'll tell you what. How should I put this? I just want to be as lucky as the left, the Democrats, and the anti-gunners. I want to be as lucky as them. Because if what happened to them yesterday, I should just go buy a lottery ticket. Or they should, for sure. Because they are unbelievably lucky. So lucky, I can't even... Who has luck that good? That their timing is so perfect all the time. That's incredible. It really is. My jaw just is on the ground. I don't even know how someone gets luckier than that. Yeah, geez. What do y'all think on that? That's if you had luck like that, wow. You'd be in Vegas, right? I would. Well, hell, they had a lot of luck in Vegas too. So, who's to say? I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, I don't know if I even want to touch that, but we got a couple cool things because of everything going on with inflation and banks and on and on and on. We're going to stay away from the politics tonight. We're going to stay away from that completely. And we're going to talk about some things that you should be buying, things that are good deals right now. Might not be good deals later, and you just need some of them. So we're going to talk about that. And while it has to do with the firearm world, it has to do with just the type of people we are, God-fearing, patriotic folks that like things that go bang. That's all. We like collecting things we consider pieces of art. So we collect them for to defend our families and defend our freedoms. And many of us have served our country defending those freedoms and on and on. So that's all we are. But we want to be left alone a little bit, right? So some of these things I think everybody should have, and we're going to go through them. Anyhow, let's see who's in the chat. I think today's cigarettes are made by people that are complete anti-smokers because they've added something so they go out all by themselves. I've never had that problem where you're smoking, talking, whatever, and they just go out. It's crazy. Anyhow, let's see who's here. Orion Fixer in the house first. That's awesome, man. Thanks for showing up. Joe can't be too far behind. Some people might be confused because we started a little late tonight. But hey, what are you going to do? Oh, my God, I got the whole herd here. Go, all of you, out. Move it. Yeah, we have a herd. We had 4 dogs. We're down to 3 and a cat. But who's counting? Let's see. I'm sure you'll make up for it on the back end. We make up for it every week on the back end. Sometimes I go, okay, we're at 2 hours. Go a little bit. Oh, we're at 3 hours. Okay, we'll wrap it up. 3.5. Oh my God. I don't even know how I talk that much. And I'm extremely tired because when my wife's not home, I stay up late on the internet, watching movies, whatever. Oh, what have we watched so far this week? Patriot, my favorite movie of all time. Love that movie. Not because of the title or anything like that. I mean, partially. I like a lot of us, I'm a huge history buff. And I love that time period from the Revolutionary War through, let's say late 1800s. I just love it. I was born like 100 years too late. I don't know. I should have been a mountain man, something like that. I don't know. I just find it such a cool time that defined the modern world, changed everything. And somehow I feel we're in for another change. I can't shake this feeling I've had for, a while, but it's certainly it's much, much stronger lately. I mean, to the point I can smell it, feel it. I can hear the footsteps. It's just not good. I just feel there's so many bad things going on. I don't know. Anyhow, let's see. David Inglesby, hopefully I can get kiddos to bed soon. I can enjoy this live. I hope you can too. Hopefully you got them in bed. Traffic was a bitch, but made it home on time. Tori Hanzo, what's up, my brother? Good to have you here. I look forward to your shows every week. Thanks for being here, Rock. DJ Miggs. Orion, no such thing as luck. I agree. They make their luck, don't they? You got to make your luck. I've said that. I've been known to quote that quite a bit. Did they go on spring break without you? Yes, they did. So a couple weeks ago, when I did my stream from Florida, I was at the house and I was down there working, cleaning up after the hurricane, all that good stuff. And now they get to go out and enjoy. And I said, well, and they were going over to Disney for a few days. Both my daughters, my little niece, girls' weekend or girls' week, they call it. For my wife, it's going to be 2 weeks. So they get to relax, enjoy. I get to go down and work as usual. And that's that. And I said, hey, how about I fly down to Disney for a couple days? My daughters wanted to go because they don't remember it from when they were little. Let's see. You don't remember the 6 or 7 times you were at Disney World, huh? And they don't. My youngest one especially. And I kind of wanted to go and just experience with them as grown ladies and have fun, see the look on their face, all that good stuff, but couldn't do it. But we'll get it done one of these times. Anyhow, they're down there for a while. Leads me to another thing. This whole everything is so out of whack. So the insurance company that insured us down there on the house This last hurricane broke them. Literally, they are in receivership. They had to file bankruptcy. And then I don't know if state of Florida, they didn't kick them out, but they're in receivership. And after the prior one, State Farm was out, all the big ones. So there weren't many left. And we had a claim from the previous hurricane for a roof, an expensive tile roof that just got paid just after we had to sue them for it. Won and got a brand new roof, pool cage, all this stuff. Everything was done. House was painted. Everything was perfect. Nothing left to do at all. About 2 months before the hurricane, they put the last drop of paint on the house. It was done. And I thought, oh, everybody's going to be able to go down, relax, enjoy themselves. And then along came this last hurricane, and the brand new pool cage ended up in the pool with a palm tree pinning it to the bottom, little roof damage, yada, yada. Anyhow, our insurance company goes bankrupt over this one. So you got to they send us a letter. You've got till May 31st to find someone else. So I start working on it 3-4 weeks ago, and then get a letter saying, hey, the state moved it up. Your policy will expire on March 31st at midnight. Great. And I'm working on all this stuff to get the policy. They want this, they want that. All the work's got to be done that you were paid in your claim, because they can see that, or a new company won't write you. So you can't get anybody to put a pool cage on because they can't get aluminum. They're backed up. So what do? I can't get insurance because they paid me. Claim is closed. But since it's not built yet, they can't insure me. What if I don't insure the pool cage? Like I didn't have insurance last time. No, we still can't do it. Okay. So unless, of course, you go get a signed contract that they're going to do the work. Great. Don't want to do it now because it's so sky high, but I have to. So go contract. Everything's good, right? Send it to underwriting. Nope. Just not going to do it. After an inspection, everything passed, roof, wind mitigation, all that stuff. So, okay, go shopping around, get another one. Great. This is going to go. Going to get it all put in place today because we're down to 2 days. And I'm on the phone with them. And they go, oh, I go, I don't like, oh, yeah, I'm looking at the satellite picture of your house. You have solar panels on the roof. I said, no, I don't. Yeah, you do. We see the big black thing. I said, that's the solar pool heater. Oh, well, yeah, that's solar sort of kind of. You can't have those. They won't insure. It's immediate. Don't even send the application. Okay. Well, they're leaking from the hurricane still. I got to get down there and tighten a few things. What if I pull them off the roof? Well, see, there's the thing. They're leaking, right? She tells me. I said, they're leaking the house, you moron. They leak down the roof like rainwater into the gutter. They're just, you're dealing with retards. So what if I pull them off? Will you write it? Well, you got 2 days. They're going to be able to get them off and then not damage the roof because they're going to send an inspector. Oh, and I had to put a fence around the pool cage. The fence wasn't good enough, this, that. Bottom line, can't get insurance. They checked every place, everyone, whole thing. Nobody will write it based on county, age of the home, this, that, the other. House is like brand new, literally like brand new, everything. Air conditioner, water heater, roof, pool cage, on and on and on. Driveway, you name it. Done. Can't get it. So there is a last resort. And that's the state pool. There's a little company called Citizens Insurance that I guess they have to write me, although the coverages aren't enough. They don't cover shit. The deductibles are high. Pool cage ain't covered. This ain't covered. That ain't covered. On and on and on and on. And it's same price as the good insurance. So I have no choice. Literally, it's that or go self-insured, which can't afford to do. So got to do that. I guess, okay, I could be happy that there's something there, but yeah. So I guess we plug along with this, cross our fingers, hope and pray a lot, and give it a year or two till some companies come back in and I can go, hi, I like some insurance. Anyhow, the good news is we got the claim paid for the last hurricane before they went bankrupt. So That was good. We didn't even think of it, but we got on it early, and in the nick of time, they cut a check. And there's a lot of people down there that didn't get it and aren't going to get a check. So I guess I should be thankful for that. So I do thank the good Lord for that. That's for sure. Anyhow, yeah, it's just everything is upside down, and is a lot of the pieces are starting to come together for me, though, and it's crazy. But let's see who else. So yeah, they went on spring break without me, but left me with the trauma of handling everything while they're roasting themselves on the beach, right? Anyhow, MZ's here. So let's talk about these things that I think you should do. So, being that I'm in the business and what we sell is basically a leading indicator. So, you've got home sales, car sales, appliances like durable goods. These are all leading indicators as to how the economy's doing, right? And I've been in the automobile business for 40 years. I guess you could say even longer than that because I was pumping gas and turning wrenches for my uncle from about the age of 14. And I've been turning wrenches long before that. So, yeah, I've been uh, in that space forever. And when this last lockup happened, I was running a dealership, and uh, the whole chip thing happened. Cars disappeared, no cars. Used car prices started going through the roof. And I'm not going to buy any this week. Those prices are crazy. They'll be less next week. Look, wow, they're crazier. Oh, we'll check next week. Holy cow, look at them this week. Well, we got to buy something. So we buy and hope and pray because I know I'm going to lose my rear on these things. And lo and behold, I can run them right back to auction next week and make money on them. And I can buy more and run them back to auction the next week and make more money and do the same, and without ever selling to a customer. But did sell to a customers, of course. And a funny thing happened during this whole pandemic is that in order to keep people going and the economy going, they gave a lot of checks out, right? And unbeknownst to most people, the government made an announcement to lenders, whether they be a captive source like a GMAC or something like that, or Toyota Motor Credit, but other banks in that automotive lending space. And they quietly said to them, hey, here's what you're going to do. You're going to lower your standards a bit. You're going to give them all the credit they want to buy any car they want. And you're going to be able to count these payments we gave them as income, even though they're sitting at home and doing nothing. And you're going to lower your loan to values and all of that, or raise them, however you want to look at it. And yeah, we're going to sell cars and keep the economy going and all this good stuff. And while that's going on, cars are going higher. Used cars, mind you, are going higher, higher, higher. And we figured, well, if I'm buying a 21 and I got 22s as new ones, they got to stop at like the invoice price of a. They can't go higher than MSRP of a 22. Oh, blew right through it. The world is upside down. Is a 21 costing me more than a brand new, newer car, 2 years newer in some cases, coming off the truck? How does that work? And because there are no cars, we were selling them at sticker price. We were not one of the dealers going 10,000 over, but plenty were 5 grand over, 10 grand over. And you're getting crazy money for these used cars. And people that couldn't have bought a car 3 weeks before that were buying cars, and they had all this income that they didn't have 3 weeks ago. And the banks were saying yes when they wouldn't say yes 3 weeks before that. And they walk out of there with making zero income essentially with $1,000 car payment. $1,000 a month. Now I've heard estimates between $700 and $1,000 a month is the average car payment right now. That's nuts. That's nuts. Um, I have a very nice car, and well, now I have a truck, but I had a very nice car, and my payment was nowhere near that. I had a luxury, European luxury sedan, and my payment was nowhere near that. I got to thinking. I thought, self, um, this isn't stopping. I watched it for weeks, months. It just went on and on. And I thought, this is just going to go nuts. What are you to do? And I needed a car at the time. I needed one. I was running huge miles. I ran like 300,000 miles in 3 years, whatever. Um, so I thought, I'm leaving this automotive space. I'm going back to the RV thing, and I better buy a car because I'm going to need one. And with the way things, I thought from the beginning, this is going to implode everything. I thought if it went 2 weeks, it would implode it, let alone months and year and whatever. So I thought, well, everything's nuts. I can't buy what I usually buy. I couldn't even get a Mercedes. I couldn't find one anywhere. So I thought, well, what do we sell here? Well, I don't like this and I don't like that, but Dodge trucks I really like. And I just thought it's going to get worse. So at that point, I could actually buy one for employee pricing, less a crazy amount of rebates and 0%. It was a steal and a half, and I bought it. And maybe even now, although they're coming down, but for a long time, I could get way more for it than I paid. But I need a car. And that was probably the smartest move I ever did, because essentially I got it really cheap in any case, whether it's inflation or not. And everything now inflates, right? I don't know if I told you the story, but in the RV business, it was a Friday and I got a trailer came into inventory from the factory. And let's just say it was $20,000 cost. I got that same trailer, came in Monday. 2 days later, another one showed up. And instead of $20,000, right, it was almost $30,000. Same trailer. MSRP that much different. Okay, so I get it. Cost of materials is up, labor, this, that, the other. But it's a great reset. I mean, everybody talked about it for years, and I think people still don't realize it happened. Some people, smart people like us, we understand it happened. It happened, and we blamed it on inflation and other pie in the sky, la la land bullshit, right? But it happened, and everything else happened. Your food and your this and your that, and people were buying houses for inflated money, and now that's coming down. Well, guess what? The car thing's coming down. I talked to some buddies that get industry news, all this stuff, and I'm reading and reading and reading, and my mind's chugging. This is so bad, it keeps me up at night. I don't sleep thinking about it, and it's not my problem. Well, it is my problem, but I don't personally have the problem. I'm not one of these folks with those payments, right? And it really has nothing to do with the payment, but it has to do with valuations, inflation, and companies, and what's going to happen when we pay the piper. And the piper's getting paid way quicker. This isn't going to drag out for years and years and wait for all this crashing and bubbling. And it's going to happen. It's going to start now. It's already started. They're hiding it already. Some is trickling through, and industry people know what's going on. A lot, well, I shouldn't even say that. A lot are just too stupid to know. But I talked to bankers, I talked to, and I kind of put two and two together and the numbers. And I probably dropped the pen, coffee, and my jaw hit the ground, and I went, "Oh my God!" So here's what's happening: you got all these bank loans out there uh, that some are fine, but most have at least one thing wrong with them, maybe more, probably two or three things. So the values of these cars were for sure artificially inflated because of supply issues. Now you may say, well, so that's not an artificially created problem. That's just supply and demand. And when supply comes back, the prices will drop, which it is. But here's the problem. It's not like a home, right? We always thought we're appreciating assets, right? These are depreciating assets. Some of them depreciate like rocks. So you have a car that in normal times, and I'm going to use just round numbers, Crazy times, it's bought way up here, and by the time it's sold to the customer, it's sold for 40,000. And these numbers aren't far off, but they're an example. 40,000, right? Normally, the bank would say, "No way." Yeah, okay, Mr. Dealer, you want to make that much money on this customer? They're going to have to come up with 20 grand down plus their taxes, yada yada, to put us in line with things. And I kept saying, hey, the book, meaning the valuation, the black book, is not catching up with how fast these cars are going up. So we can't borrow, get the loans for these people. Well, they fixed all that with all their little, hey, you know what we need you to do? And they gave them the loans. And by the way, they also told them, hey, these customers you're making these loans for that you're doing this for, yeah, there's one little catch. You can't repossess the car, and you can't bug them even if they don't make the first payment. Now, this is going back well over a year ago, maybe a year and a half, almost 2 years. So you got a lot of these loans out there for, again, 40,000 on a car that back then might have been worth 20 and now is probably worth more like 15. They're 100 to 150% upside down in their loan. Perhaps they haven't made a payment because they don't have an income or a job. They don't work, but they got a check for a little while from the government. And now, hey, game on, you can go repo them. So they're repoing like mad, right? And they have a liquidation part of their business. They send them all to auction, and their rep there runs them through auction, and they got to get 40 grand out of this car to break even, and they send it through the chutes, and their buyer or seller that are rep at the auction calls them up and says, hey man, this car didn't do too good this week. It only brought like 12 grand. I passed. And they said, well, that's okay, it'll be better next week, we'll get more next week. That's how they think. Literally, they think that next week is going to be better on an appreciating asset. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it isn't at times. Sometimes market fluctuations, this, that. There's weeks we don't buy cars. There's weeks there's steals. Other weeks, and we may pass, but we don't pass when we're that far out of line. No amount of help is going to come to the rescue on these things. So they say, yeah, we'll try next week. Next week happens, same thing. So it gets parked in their area at the auction, and it sits, and it sits, and it sits, and it sits. Meanwhile, quarterly numbers got to come out, right? So they can't liquidated it. So hoping for a better deal now for a few months, longer till we get these numbers out, right? Well, who was it? Was 8% down? I can't remember one of them. Had they put the real numbers on the books, can you imagine? And it's getting worse every day, and it's piling up and piling up and piling up, and the values are dropping. Nobody's doing it. Guys, and here's the worst part. These banks, lending institutions, then take all these car loans, just like mortgages, pack them up into asset-backed securities and sell them based on the quality of those loans. Well, guess who's holding all those? I don't know, maybe hedge funds, maybe whoever, investors, maybe even a mutual fund or two that you're in. And yeah. And this is going to be way, way worse than the housing bubble or any bubble that you've ever seen, because for every house, there's what, 3 cars, maybe 4 cars? I don't know. And it's going to keep dropping. When this all hits the books, what do you think is going to happen? And then couple it with the banks in California, which there's probably more to come. And suddenly a lot of these numbers that you see, well, how is that? Like, good thing. Gold, silver, right? You would think with all this inflation, I mean, up like that, if you look at the curve, you would think that when inflation goes up, it's a given, like it's a law of physics that when that happens, gold and silver go up, right? The safe space to keep your money, store your wealth, protect your wealth. Silver, gold have never been worth zero. How many times have you been told that, right? Because you got a little bit of this put away. Or, I don't know, a little bit of this put away, or some gold, or what have you. Well, why aren't those prices going up? Now, yes, they've went up. I mean, you kind of had a happy medium. Well, it's varied a little, 1650 to 1850 for gold, and it's run up as high as I think just over 2000, 2100 maybe, and then add in, the dealer fees, what they charge over spot and whatnot. And yeah, it's up there, but now it's dropping again, even with these bank failures. And you go, what the hell is going on? And I call it things that make you go, hmm. But there is some bright news to all this, and that's the firearm market. Now, you're never supposed to buy a firearm with the thought of buying it and selling it for a profit, because that would make you what? That'd make you a dealer. Yeah, an FFL. And I'm glad to say they could never mess with me on that, because in my entire life, I think I've sold one firearm. So that's it. I don't think they could charge me with anything close to it. That being said, firearms always suffer from supply and demand, right? We saw anytime there's a little crisis in the news, prices go up. They stay there for until the panic dies down, or an election happens and they go up until the crisis dies down, and then the prices drop back down. And you think, how far could they really go? I mean, there's MSRP, and sure they could ask more for some things, but it always comes back down. And frankly, it has. My entire time in the firearm industry, or collecting, or whatever, as a hobby, it always has. And I thought, man, look at inflation. What's it going to do? First we had the longest, largest ammo crisis I think we've ever had, right? And we got through that. Everybody made it through. Maybe didn't get to go shooting as often as they like, but they got through it. And ammo came back on the shelves, and it's pretty much in full stock, right? But the prices never came down. We kind of saw the inflation before the inflation, right? And we kind of got used to that a little bit. And it seemed to stay that way. And I thought, oh, okay, at least it wasn't the double whammy effect, right? But now it is a little bit. In some cases, I'm seeing some stuff is up now because of inflation, but some has stayed fine, which I went, doesn't seem to have affected these manufacturers, or maybe they just sucked up some of it thinking, man, how much can we do? These poor guys, they just came through 2 years of paying ridiculous money. Um, let's see, 14 times what primers used to be. Used to be able to buy a brick of any kind of primers you wanted for about $23 just a couple of short years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago. And now they act like they're doing you a favor when they say, hey, yeah, big sale, $95. Well, that's 5 times the money. That's an 80% increase, right? Or 800% increase, I should say, right? So we saw that there, and that's come down from that $125 mark, although a lot are still there. There's some out there in that $70 to $80 range. You've got 9mm now. I've seen as cheap as two something a case, $230 for a 1,000-round case. That's getting down there. Cheapest I ever paid for that was about $170. Selling below 115 or 124 grand. Remember paying $169 a case on sale. And I bought 2 cases of it, and I should have bought 200. But that's besides the point. Anyhow, Uh, I'll mix in a little local gun report or gun shopping report with this. Um, and then we'll get back to this inflation and the economy and why you guys are going to want to buy certain things now. Um, so I've been, since I've been home alone and left to my own devices, I ran out of projectiles. that's, that's terrible when you, with the amount of projectiles I have, that's terrible. Anyhow, I should say I ran out of certain projectiles that measure 0.224. Okay. So, that kind of shocked me, almost double in a week or two. So things have caught up. Um, the firearms themselves actually seem to be in our proliferation. There's a proliferation of them. Everything's full. Anything you want. I saw at a big box store, a farm store, I saw an H&K MP5 22, but I almost had a heart attack. I thought, shit, I gotta buy another one. Oh, she'd kill me. That'd be the end of me. That gun has still kind of been my downfall. Yeah, it screwed up so many good things that were going on. It threw all my budgeting completely out of whack a year later. Even, I mean, it's insane. But I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to buy another one because they're going to be so cheap here that if it's here, I can buy it and I can bring it home. And oh my God, I got this and it's such a deal and I have to have two. I would have justified it in my head somehow. Anyhow, they had the 22. They've got Colt. They've got Daniel Defense. They've got Smith and Wesson, Black Rain. I think it is. Is it Black Rain Ordnance? Yeah, I think so. Even Mossberg, for some reason, while everything else, there was some on the shelves, they had none for the longest time. And I found that retrograde one that I got that I love, the World War II trench gun looking. But now everything's out. There's even Benelli M4s hanging on the wall, lots of them, a couple different configurations, no collapsing stock, so I can't do it. Beretta 1301 Tacticals, and they're actually like, they were like $15.99, $16.99. I think I paid $15.99, and they're like $14.99 right now. I'm like, wow, that's a good deal on that gun with the pistol grip and everything. That's a great gun, guys. I'm going to make a pretty big statement here. Some of you guys aren't going to agree, but I'm going to tell you, if I had both sitting here, which I don't, I have one of them sitting here, but if both were sitting side by side, I'd take the 1301 to do business. I'd take the 1301. They're two different types of gas systems completely. And I believe the 1301, well, they both are magnificent. Don't get me wrong. You can't short that M4 at all. But I think at the end of the day, it reacts better, and it reacts better to whether it's a small difference in shells or a huge difference. I think at the end of the day, there may be, not that an M4 doesn't do everything, but here on the one end or the other, usually the light end, something might go wrong, and on this 1301, nothing. It's just, I think it's a better way of adapt. It self adapts better at the end of the day, and I think it's just as rugged, just as strong, just as nice. Yeah, that's a nice piece. But yeah, they had those. All the SIG P320. I don't know what you call them, the fire control group, or the serialized part you could buy. You could buy the whole guns. They had CZ everything. They had HK everything in pistols. Lots of Kimber and Smith and Wesson and Glock and SIG and receivers of any color you wanted, and uppers, and lots of parts and mags and everything, everything except gunpowder. And while they've had some primers recently, both pistol and small rifle, that's all I've seen there, but in small supply. But I was able to buy 1,000 at a time, a couple weeks in a row. Last couple weeks they haven't had any, and they have no powder. Like maybe one or two weird powders, Magnum powders, stuff like that. But other than that, it's game on, and the prices are good. Brought you guys a video on the Ruger, the little takedown 9mm pistol. They make the carbine and the pistol with the takedown barrel. Charger, Ruger Charger. That's still priced exactly where it was priced when I bought it 2 years ago. Nothing's out of line. Colts, ARs are right in line. Funny though, no AKs at all, and they carry some stuff that Sentry has. They'll have the Vishkas and some Zastavas once in a while, but I haven't seen an AK there in ages. Kind of weird. I mean, they're around. There's a ton of them around. I don't know why I haven't seen any there. Anyhow, tons of optics, everything. And the prices seem okay. So I'm going to give you, not that you need my permission, but I'm going to give a big go ahead to any firearm purchases now. I mean, I don't think you're going to see anything better for quite a while, and you may never see prices that things are at right now. Not to say they're great, but they're as good as they were, I think, pre-pandemic, even, or close, other than a few that have went up. But doesn't everything always go up some? I don't know, but they're there. So if there's something you want and you can get it, I'd say go for it. I just don't think you're going to see a drop in the next few weeks, no matter what happens to anything. Ammo, it's as cheap as it's going to get. I don't think, with everything else going on in the political realm, while we seem to have been winning up until yesterday morning's news, that we were going to get rid of that pistol ban right then and there pretty quick, I think. And we still probably will, but that was definitely a setback, and now we're into a time crunch. But yeah, I don't think you're going to see anything go on that'll change the price there for ammo, guns. So if you want to do that, go do it. If you're one of those guys that you got too many guns to begin with, then forget the guns and just start grabbing ammo. And consider it a race right now. I just would, to be safe. Okay. If there's anything you need, just grab it, get it. Same with reloading components. And there's some other things you should buy. And I want you guys to think basics. Okay. Because a lot of times we think of the more expensive stuff or the stuff that's harder to get at certain times. And I got to get. And we forget about the basics. So a month or two ago, I'd been planning to do this for a while, and I think I talked about it, but I didn't show you. But there's certain things, everyday stuff, that are necessities you can't live without, whether it's going to work, going to school, if you're going hunting or out for a walk or whatever, just you need them, right? You need shoes on your feet. And to do the sports we do and the shooting we do and the cool things we do and things we might have to do, you need a good pair of boots. And it came into my head that, man, I have had the same boots forever, ever and ever and ever. I don't know exactly how long I've worn this brand and these particular boots, this style, but it's been years, probably a decade or maybe more. I guess I could go by when the company came out, maybe because they came out and I bought them. And I bought them. I fell in love with them. A few days after I bought them, there was a little vent hole in the. It had a little valve in it that let water out but won't suck it in, and they rivet them like in the leather in the inside in your instep, and or the arch rather. It popped out so water could get in, and I thought, oh great, I just bought them. They're junk. I went. Gander Mountain was still in business. That's how long ago this was. I guess that isn't that long ago, but whatever. I wore them into the store and I showed the guy and he said, come on, let me go over there. What size is it? There you go. Put the old ones in the box. Thank you very much. Whew, awesome. They've been fine ever since. I've had the same pair forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And I keep thinking, I mean, these things have been underwater. They've been in mud with mud dried and caked onto them, and just bang them, brush them, and they look like they just came out of the box. And what happens? We usually wear out the uppers before the soles, right? Well, these soles just kept going and going and going. I'm like, what? I wear these things all day from the minute I get up till the minute I go to bed, and even sometimes after. I sleep in them sometimes. They never come off my feet. I wear them every day off. I wear them to work. I wear them in the winter, the summer, spring, fall, hunting, working in when I had my manufacturing plant. They were there every day with me. You name it, I wear them. I wear them every single day for years. And you guys are going to say bullshit when I show you these. And I haven't cleaned them. I didn't wash them or anything. I wore them. I didn't wear them yesterday, but I wore them the day before. And they are made by 511. And think what you want about that company. A lot of people say, well, it's like a big box brand, right? Kind of a wannabe brand, maybe. Others think, no, they're good stuff. They have good ideas. I found out about them way back when I was in a gun shop and I needed a belt, and I still wear it. It's a rigger's belt. I wear it every day again. I have 3 of them actually, but the one I wear all the time, I've had for years. It's stiff. I mean, it's stiff. You can put a holster on it, everything, and you don't even need like a what do you call it, a duty belt over it or anything if you don't want this. I wear it every day with jeans, with whatever. Anyhow, 511 makes some good stuff. And these are the boots. These boots are, I'll bet, 8 years old, this particular pair. Look at that. Look at the uppers. And if I brush them, they look phenomenal. Here. I wish the light was better. I mean, these things, what do they look? A month or 2 old, maybe? Look at the nylon. And this is the key, the zip. I tied these boots all those years ago, and I may have retied them once, only because my ankles got bigger. But here's those little thingy valves that popped out. When I first got it, one popped out. They're one-way valves, so when you step in, it squishes, it pushes the water out, can't suck it back in. They're kind of like auto-siphoning. Coolest thing ever. I love it. You got a little knife pocket right here. It's hidden. When there's no knife in there, it's hidden, right? Well, mine's been in there so long. It's probably, yeah, it's indented the suede up here permanently. But this is a little Gerber, and it's been in there forever, and you don't even know it's there. And if you forgot your pocket knife, your EDC, that's always there. I can't tell you how many times that little knife there has saved the day. The zippers are the best thing, and they're covered with this nice big pull. You see how big this is? I can just boom, and they're off. There's something to grab on here. Remember that when I go on with this story. These things weigh nothing. I bet they're no more than a pound, probably less than a pound. They're airlight. They call them I think it's something to do with air, but they're like a desert boot. But I wear them in the winter, one pair of socks, and I've never had cold feet. I've worn them deer hunting in 10-degree weather. I snow blow in them. I do everything. And what finally made me go, you know what? I don't want new ones. These are great. I did put gel soles in them a couple months after I got them, and those flattened out a long time back. I took them out, and they almost felt like loose then. But um, other than that, I went through a couple pairs of gel soles, and so the original things are still in there. Look really good. There's not even missing suede. I mean, there's a little salt on there, but I brush these things. You'd think they'd be bald by now, and they're not. The laces haven't broke because you don't have to unlace them. Here's another key, and all this little stuff I'm telling you about is going to sound like nothing till I show you. So you got all these laces, right? And you got this here. And then you got the little tab here. You run the lace through so it holds the tongue up, right? Look at how that tongue sits. Perfect. Centered, comfortable, doesn't go over to the side. And you got no padding and it's killing your leg. Even the zippers have like an inner sort of wind flap to them to cover, just they're fabulous. Every little part of this boot was so thought out, so well done, so durable, so everything, so light. I can sleep in them, not even know I have them on. I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm raving like a madman like this because it's one of the few products in my life I've ever had that's been this good. And then finally, the soles are like down to nothing. But I mean, they held up. They're not separating. The glue's not coming undone. Not stitch either. They're just welded, they've got these special air soles and footbed and everything. They're just so comfortable. I love them. So I told my wife, I gotta get a new pair of boots. They're wearing out, and they still make them, and I don't want them to stop making this, and I can't get them. Matter of fact, if I could get them, I'm going to buy 2 pairs and blah, 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 because they're the greatest thing I've ever had. So I go and I find them online because I couldn't find them at the store. Here's the other one, by the way. Looks just as good. No knife pocket. There is a knife pocket on this side, but I don't know. A couple of years ago, I decided to strap this sucker on there. It's a little, that didn't work too good. Well, what the heck went on here? How did that just do that? Oh, I know why. Because that came out here. I was figuring out how to rig this on there, and it works well, but I just figured out how it's not going to work well. Anyhow, look at the knife's covered in crap. It's been in there so long. But I wear it like that, and you'd never even see that when my jeans are over it. And I don't wear it all the time, but a lot. And same wear, but same. I mean, these things are like brand new, right? So, but I'm going to go get another pair. So I order them online, same boot, same everything. And they come, and ta-da, there's the new one, right? Let's see. Hold on. Let me do this from there. Here's the new one. Here's the one. Now, you can see this has been worn, obviously, but I mean, 8 years, really? 8 years. 8 years. Okay. Sole, biggest thing, worn down. If it wasn't worn, I'd keep wearing them. But they get a little slippery here and there. These now, holy cow, I almost tripped myself because I'm not used to them. But here they are, same boot, right? But for a couple minor changes. What are those changes? Well, let's see here. I know the ones I want to tell you about, but I want to see. I didn't notice that. Well, number one, remember those little valves that flow in and out? The one popped out, they replaced, but it's been good for 8 years. Gone. So now if my boot fills with water, I guess it stays in there. My feet go for a swim. So, I mean, these had to be a fortune, these things. Those little suckers right there had to be an absolute fortune, like a make it or break it thing. The company was going to go belly up if they put those babies in there. And they worked, was the great thing. And even if my feet were wet, at least it got squish, squish, squish out of there. And eventually they'd dry. Gone on the new ones. Gone. Same sole and all. Little different. Let's see. Oh, all right. Let's go side by side. So now they have stamped into them 511 right here where these didn't have it. Right? And where before they had the 511 sewn on vinyl patch, now they have it stamped or branded into the front of the tongue here, if I can get it out of the way. Right, so we're talking cosmetic stuff basically, other than this, but it gets better. I'm reading the article or the sale thing on the catalog, and everything's listed the same. And one of the biggest things that I love about them is my knife pocket doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. But it said it had it. Now, did they sew it shut? No, it doesn't appear to be. It's just gone. That was the greatest little invention ever, and it actually cost them less to do. All they did was not stitch this here. Now, maybe there was another piece of liner in there. Here's the knife pocket if you didn't see it. Look, it's the same material, everything. They just didn't stitch it closed, right? What's in here? I want to see if it's actual material. No, it's not. It's the liner of the boot. So it didn't cost them anything. They just didn't put the stitch through. Did I get a pair that they forgot and stitched it shut? I don't know. But yeah, no more knife pocket. I'm really upset about that. I almost sent them back, and then I thought, well, okay, I'll live without it. I loved them forever. Just hoping and praying there's one here, but no, it doesn't have them. So the vents went away. They cost them 5 cents. And this went away. That cost them nothing. And they branded that in when they didn't need to. I don't give a shit who knows what they are or what they had. Probably rather them not say 511 on there, actually. So they spent more money on that. Soles are the same. Everything's the same. Zipper seems the same quality. Except for, remember, I told you to remember this nice big flap here? Because we're guys and we have like fat little sausage fingers, right? But I had this big strap. I could grab it, right? And pull it off. Zip. I'm out of them. Fast. In and out. Faster than gym shoes. Look what they did. There's that nice big flap is now a teeny tiny with my fingernail. Yeah. Yeah. So now I have to struggle to literally grab it with a fingernail because it's shorter than the Velcro, actually. Where the other one hung over a bit, I could grab it and boom. So these sound like tiny little things, but they took the greatest boot ever known to man, and for 5 cents, and free, for 10 cents, they just the greatest boot ever made. For 10 cents. Oh, it gets worse. So remember the thing here that held the tongue up, right? Well, this is a long tongue, right? And a lot of places do these little jobbers, but it's a long, tall boot. So they put it up here. So it holds it up here. That's how it stands. Look, that boot's 8 years old. That's how it sits. No, I don't know why, but it's not up here anymore. It's down here. It doesn't need to be held up down here. Now it sinks down in, or worse yet, it goes, you can see how it's tending. It goes to the side like this. So 2 minutes, I have to align it all. I'm lacing it, or not lacing it, but zipping it. And then it ends up over here, and it's cutting into my leg, and it sucks. So because they positioned that wrong, changed it for God knows why, Spent extra money to stitch the pocket shut. Went with a smaller piece here and 5-cent little valves. They took the greatest boot in the world, left it essentially the same, but destroyed it. I could see if you were changing the style, changing major things, everything. But these teeny tiny things that set it apart from other brands, they screwed up. I'm going to write them a letter. I'm going to do a video on this of how it obviously was successful for them, or they wouldn't keep making it, right? But they destroyed it to the guy that appreciates them, that wears them every day, that knows everything about them, how well they work, how long they last. They destroyed them for under a quarter. And I won't be buying any more, probably. You notice I haven't really worn them, right? I haven't worn them once or twice. Why? Because the damn tongue goes sideways and cuts into me now on a boot that is so friggin' comfortable you don't even know you got it on if they just put the little loop on there. And sure, I'll take it to my shoe guy and I'll have him stitch that on. Maybe I'll have him cut the pocket open there. And if I can find those little valves, I'll even have those put in. But what the... talk about making me mad. And they spent more money on this bullshit. I just can't even believe it. And I ordered a pair to make sure they were the same because the name seemed different to me. I didn't remember the name being that. But it's the same boot. It's the only boot that is like this that they have. And had it come and been perfect, I would have went, all right, game on. I'm going to buy one or two more and put them away. That's what I do. When I find a shoe I like, I buy it, put it away. One thing they did improve on is you did not have anything here to pull the boot up with. Now, I didn't really need it. When the zipper's open, it hangs open like that. Huge, right? Get right in, grab it here, pull up, zip, I'm out the door. They did put this on. So, but I don't need it. You didn't need to do that, 511. Yeah. And I think they changed, what else? Oh, the back's even the same. Maybe that's part of it. Look at the back here. Forget about the strap here. But look at the padding. The padding is much lower. It came up much higher here. These things are so comfy. You have no idea. If you're a little older and you get some leg swelling as the day goes on, that little things like that mean a lot. Yeah, it doesn't go up anywhere as high. I don't know. Wait. Yeah, look, that padding, I didn't notice that. So the padding comes up here, and before it went all the way to the zipper. And let's see this side. Wait, I had the right side. Oh yeah, it's much lower. That might be part of it too. Okay, so they're fully destroyed. Yeah, look at the padding difference. You see? It's double the size here. I didn't notice that till just now. Just seeing if there's anything else. Yeah, I don't get it. Oh, and the tongue even. The tongue was suede all the way across and padded all the way across. The padding seems the same, but no suede all the way to the end of the tongue here. So obviously they cheapened them. But I would have paid $10 more. I may have even paid more than that, but $10 for sure. 511, go put that stuff back on, take it back to being the great boot it was for 25 cents and charge me $10 more. I'm happy to pay it. Happy to pay it because this boot is that good. And I want my goddamn knife pocket back. It's the greatest thing ever. Hey, tuck a 20 in there, whatever. You know? What a shame. What a shame. The good news is they still look great, and I continue to wear them while the new ones sit in the shop. I have $300 pair of Solomons that I wear twice a year because they're uncomfortable and just don't care for them. They're OD green. I thought they were cool. My wife and kids surprised me for my birthday one year, and I almost wanted to kill them right then and there because I knew what they cost. I said, "Are you out of your mind?" Oh, that's the other great thing. You know what these cost? I think they're under $100, and they're fabulous. Okay, that's enough. I've talked enough about my crazy boot fetish, right? You guys are probably like, "Who gives a shit about your little valve things?" Right? But I'm sure every one of you have something in your lives, something you own. Maybe it's a gun, maybe it's a car, maybe it's a toy, whatever. But you love it that much because it's just the greatest whatever you ever bought, right? And there's very few things left in this world that are just super quality that you can rave about and you love. And so when you have one and you lose it, it sucks. Because there's probably 3 things that I can be that passionate about, even though it's something I shouldn't be passionate about. It's just great. And it's ruined. So let's go over here and go and read about you guys going, oh my God, somebody shut them the hell up. Let's see, MZ's here, Rabbit Hole's here, 30 round MAGA. I bought 2 guns this month and I just found a super deal on PSA. I'm debating whether it's worth the trouble. I'm here from my wife. Yeah, just remember this. I don't know how old you are, but here's a bit of advice from, I won't say old, but just let's say a sage, right? It's better to apologize once, or better to ask for forgiveness once than it is to apologize twice. So just go and do it. Don't ask, and then deal with this yelling, screaming once. Now, if you're truly going to break the budget, cause problems, can't pay a bill, something like that, then please don't do it because it has more an effect on your wife, your girlfriend than you think. Because to you, it's, well, I spent a few bucks on a gun. To them, and I won't say this is all women, but some of them see it as a form of betrayal almost, because they should be your most important thing. And I guess it depends on your relationship and all that good stuff. But, you know if it'll truly bother her or if she's like, she'll get over it. She's okay. And, she'll do the same thing sometimes. She wants to do something and it costs a little bit of money and she does it. So just know what comes around goes around. That's all. Anyhow, Squeaky Cooler is in the house. Good to see you. Love them here when they come in. Hey guys, please remember to super chat down there. If you like the content you see here, you can click super chat and donate any amount you want, from a penny to whatever. Sky's the limit. Guys do 762 556. It truly helps the channel. Most videos don't get monetized today. And I don't do many videos to begin with anymore. I do this chat. And while it may not be a lot of work, seem like a lot of work, or it is a lot of work, it's not. It's fun for me. But if you see some content you like and you get something out of this, you enjoy it, it's entertainment, please think about sending a few bucks over, because it gets put back into the video so for different things, to whether it's reviews to bring you or ammo or whatever, because I get it. Things are costing more these days, let me tell you. And we want to bring as much cool stuff as we can. And I promise you, every bit goes back to the channel. Every bit. So do what you can when you can. That's a line from Patriot. Remember when he comes to town to get supplies and he's telling the old guy that owns the general store, and Heath Ledger's with his daughter. He says, I can't pay for this now. He goes, He says, pay me. You'll pay me what you can when you can. I'm not worried about it, right? And he ends up getting burned alive in a church. Seems about right, doesn't it? It may as well be gold. What's that? What may as well be gold? I'm not following. What were we talking about at that point? Must have been a while back. One simple item I have been longing to replace is my mag light. Here, I'm old enough to know mag lights before LEDs, right? And then they made LED conversions for them. And then they just made LEDs and rechargeables and on and on. And there's Streamlight and there's Safe Light and there's whatever light and O-Light and this and that. But for an EDC light or something you carry in the car, something's with you all the time in the bag, you just can't beat a mag light. You can't destroy them. Well, you can. I have, but I still have my original mag light from when I was on the police department, and then I converted it to an LED, and it's not as good as the ones today, but I still have it. It still works. I have some. I have one that was red anodized that is almost completely silver now. It's actually crushed in partially crushed in one area. It still runs. They work. I the it's about this long. What they call it's about that long. It looks like a traditional one. You turn it on by twisting the head. It takes 2 double A's, and you can actually twist the whole head off. Set the head down like a base. Put the light up into the lens portion that is now acting like a base, and it's like a candlestick. You can light a whole room with it. It's just a great size, great light. I can see on my property I'll tell you right now, it's about 700 yards deep, and I can see to the back, and it's great. I have also, and those are very affordably priced, and they're the perfect size. And then I have this one smaller of it that takes 2 triple A's. And between the two, they're fabulous. And then I have a very, very expensive mag light I bought on a whim one day. I'll show it to you one of these days. I just used it to find the dog. It's about yay long, and it's kind of fat, about an inch or so wide. It's just a little too big to fit in a rifle mount in a ring. It's rechargeable. I've had it a solid 5 years at least, maybe a little more, and I recharge it when it needs it. That comes with the charger, can plug into 110 or can plug into your car. It can be mounted in the car for police officers, security guards, whatever, or keep it on your bench like I do. It's got low and high and strobe and all that, and it just keeps going and going and going. It looks like brand new. It's fabulous. I keep waiting for it to not take a charge or the battery wear out or something, but it keeps going. If I remember right, though, that light was at least $200, maybe between 200 and 300 even. I don't know. It was a lot of money no matter what at that time, let alone for a mag light. I think it was their first real rechargeable with, like law enforcement sort of thing. It came in a box, all packaged beautifully, everything. And I saw it, and I just love mag lights. And I knew if it said mag light on it, it was going to be great. I wasn't wrong. I use it every day. I also have this almost the same light, a tiny bit smaller, but not rechargeable. Takes regular batteries, like 3 or 4, maybe triple A's. And I've had it forever, and it's been missing now for at least 2 months. And I say missing, I haven't lost it. I don't lose things. I misplace them. It'll show up. And I can't wait for it to show up because I love it. And that's my backup when the rechargeable one goes dead, because I don't put the charger in my car. I keep it on the bench. But rarely am I using it that much where the rechargeable would go dead. But it's more, I'll bang it around more, where the more expensive one, I kind of baby it a bit because I don't want it all scratched up or something like that. I just like it. So the other one gets banged around. and still does well. So about how much you pay for a pair of those boots. Like I said, they were like 99 bucks, maybe 105 now or something like that. But guys, you can pay crazy money for boots like those Solomons I got. Crazy money. Are they better? I don't know. I mean, I know I've never had another pair of boots, and I've had everything. Uh, and I've had other good boots. There's my leather boots. I'll remember the name here soon, but um, I love those too. But these are just so light. It's like wearing gym shoes, but you're wearing combat boots. You know, they protect your ankle. They grip well. They're warm enough in the winter. They're cool enough in the summer. I don't ever sweat in those boots ever. They're just great. They're great. For that kind of money, don't think you're getting a cheap boot. You're not. Well, maybe now you are. I don't know. They're still good. It's just those few things. I literally am going to write them a letter, see if they got any old ones in stock, something. I'll buy them out, however many they have. I'm overdue for some new ones. And Rudy Finney, 223. Thanks, Rudy. We appreciate it. Usually you can ask a question there or something, and we'll try to get to your question first. When I learn how to post them up here like 2AEDU does, I'll do it. I think I need software to do that. I'm still running on this YouTube software just because I know how to run it and I don't know how to do the others. And there'll be a learning curve, and I don't feel like going through it right now. Anyhow, I appreciate it. Chase, hey, Rock, just stopping by for a minute. Can't stay on as getting ready for Georgia run. So wife get last items that were her mom's after she passed. Well, tell your mom or tell your mom, tell your wife that give your wife a hug for us. How's that sound? I'm sure she was close with her mom, and it's not like losing your mom or your dad, right? Especially if you were close with them and they were good parents and those type of people you can always go to for advice. And sometimes you lose them and they're still around. You know, Alzheimer's, something like that's terrible disease. You're talking to them, but you're not talking to them, you know? And you maybe need some advice or something, or you want to talk about, and they're just not. That's a bad thing. But hey, tell your loved ones, your friends, give them a hug, tell them you love them, because one day you may walk out the door like every other day, and you don't get to see them again, or they don't get to see you again. So those people that are important to you, make sure you do it. Those little arguments, they don't mean shit. At the end of the day, they mean nothing. Get over it and move on, or don't have the argument to begin with, because those people are that important to you. So give her a hug for us, and I hope everything gets better. Virginia to Georgia for a long weekend. Good friend watching the pups for us, so it really helps us focus. Yeah, I'm the pup watcher this week while the wifey is gone. Her name is Kelly, by the way. That's awesome. By the way, was she German? Teasing. Yeah, I get the puppy watch this week, and I told you we have a small herd, right? So up until a short time ago, I had still have my English Mastiff. She's my baby, love her to death. Her little boyfriend, his name's Calvin. He's a Chihuahua, and he can go nowhere. She can go without him. He cannot be. She can't be out of his sight. He'll cry if she's gone for 5 minutes. He'll cry till she comes back. If she's gone for 4 days, he will not stop crying till she comes back. So they have to be together. It was my daughter's dog. She couldn't take him because he had to be here with her. Anyhow, and then I've got my son's dog that when he passed, we inherited. And she was a pain as a pup, but she's part pit bull, mountain dog, and a little boxer and everything. She's grown on me a lot, and She was his, so it's good. It's like a piece of him with me, and I'm sure she missed him terribly. When he passed away, she sat by the door of his room and just sat there, just sat waiting. And then eventually, after hours and hours, laid down, and she stayed there for weeks. Weeks. She'd come down to eat, go out, but she was a mess. You could just tell she was a mess. And she's a good dog. And then I had my hunting dog, my Weimaraner. He passed away this last summer. We had to put him down. He got cancer. But yeah, so I got the herd. And right before they left, my wife ordered Mexican food and they're eating guacamole and chips. And my wife took a bite. Whoa, that is so hot. What the hell's going on? We order from there all the time. She had one chip. She gave what was left or whatever of that chip to the dog. Not thinking, or maybe she gave it to the dog, a chipped and guac to the dog before she tried it. Either way, this one doesn't have its stomach can handle a lot. My daughter ate a whole bunch of them, and the next day ate a bunch of them, and then my wife woke up with her face swollen, and my daughter woke up with, and my wife woke up with her face swollen, and my daughter woke up with hives and rash everywhere on her body. When I say everywhere, I mean everywhere, everywhere. Went to immediate care. They gave her some medicine and some cream and stuff. That was mid-afternoon. By late afternoon, she was at the hospital getting an EpiPen shot and prednisone. Went home, all seemed well. Woke up the next morning completely covered again and being driven out of her mind, crying, itching. Or no, didn't even make the morning. Went at 3 a.m. to the same hospital where the midnight shift treated her like shit and accused her of overreacting, and my wife, a 30-year nurse, overreacting. They walked out of there pissed, came back in the morning, even worse. Saw the same doctor in the emergency that saw him, and he said it was a rebound reaction from having the epi. The body's going, hey, wait, that stuff that worked really good, it's gone. I need some more. And then it was worse. So they gave her that and a super strong dose of steroids. And it's still there, but getting better. And she's on her vacation at Disney World while all this is going on. Anyways, long story short, they left the dogs for me. I came home at lunch to find the one that puked all over the house. I can't believe one dog can hold that much puke. I thought, did it eat a whole bag of dog food? What happened? Had to clean that up. And then came home after work to a pile that came out the other end everywhere. And I'm one of those guys, like most of you probably, that I dry heave uncontrollably. Yeah, if I could have got a hold of the vet, they all would have been put down right then and there. But yeah, so they left me. Not only did they go to Florida, leave me behind, fun in the sun, but yeah, I got to take care of 3 dogs. All right, so let's get back to what we were talking about. Guys, if you need the small stuff, or really not so small stuff, very important stuff, and things are a little tight, I'm going to tell you, go get it, because things are going to get worse, a lot worse. And inflation is going to keep right going. You're going to see prices go sky high. They're not going lower. So just go buy what you need. I've been doing that. And I didn't mean to be selfish this way. I probably should have talked to you guys about this long ago when I bought that truck. I just knew that get it now while the getting's good. Supply chain problems, which some have cured themselves, others are still there. Inflation going up, different circumstances making things be more expensive, bank crises, reports of people not being able to get money out of the bank. And I truly, truly believe that this is going to get much, much worse because of what I was telling you about the problem with the auto loans and the equity-backed securities that they packaged them into and sold them, and the absolute killing they're going to take, worse than the real estate housing bubble, way worse. On top of everything else we have going on. We didn't have a pandemic and all the other stuff back then, and now we do. Um, I told you, I can smell it, feel it, hear the footsteps. It's something in my gut, in my head. When I put everything together, my common sense goes, more than common sense. My education, my knowledge, my reading, my everything says that this is going to be not just bad, but beyond bad. So if there's large purchases you need to make while I would make them now. I'm not going to say your money's going to be worth nothing. I won't go that far, but I think it's going to get much worse. And who knows? You could lose a job, you could whatever. And you say, well, then I'd have money. Just get what you need now that you know is super important, that maybe something's on its last leg. I'd say now is the time to grab it if you're going to need it. If you've been putting something off that you need for preps, for other stuff like that, I'd buy it. I started talking about why gold and silver hasn't been following the inflation, and it sort of did a little, but if you have the cash, I would put some of the clinkety clink away, whether it's this color or the other. I would put a bunch away. And don't look at it as, I don't ever look at this as an investment. I look at it as sort of a fail safe for if everything totally went. Now, you can make money on it, but you're not going to make money on it overnight or 3 months or 6 months, or you may, who knows, a little bit. But you got to remember there's there's a bit you have to pay a percentage over spot. So you're paying more than you could sell it for to begin with. Think of it like a commission or whatever. And it used to not be a lot. You could buy, and the other day I saw silver at 85 cents over spot. But like silver eagles can be, they're crazy now, $8, $10 over spot. They bring more than spot when you sell them, just not that much. But because there's, I guess, sort of more value in them in a way, because it says the United States on it. People recognize it. They're more apt to realize, hey, that's real, not a fake. Not to say that there's not fakes running around, but you can get rid of them easier than some coin from some other country that nobody's ever heard of. But just know, if you're putting away for a super bad time when things have really broken down, if you think that may happen sometime, I would go in no bigger than 1 ounce. Anytime you go smaller than 1 ounce, though, you pay bigger premiums on it. So if you've never put any away, I'd put away 1 ounce bars, 1 ounce coins, whatever. If you're putting away for all out, man, everything's gone to crap, I would buy the cheapest silver you can find. When I say cheapest, let's say spot today is $22. If you can find it with the premium, it's 50 cents over, as opposed to $3 over for this coin or $8 over for that one. So if you can buy like a bar, where'd my bar go? If you can, this is like by our mint, I think Silvertown Mint, and it's just a bar they came up with. They put their little eagle on there and stuff, and it's 1 troy ounce, 0.999 fine silver. Secondary market, they don't have to be new. This was secondary market, but at the time, I think I bought it at like 25 cents over spot. So as close to spot as you can buy it, if your plan is this is a fail safe, a fallback when cash is no good and everything's totally screwed. buy it that way. If you are buying it to maybe a long-term investment, 10 years, 20 years, things could go shorter, but whatever, way down the road. I would look into maybe, like I said, Eagles, or this is a U.S., it's called a buffalo. So you got the Indian head on one side, and you've got the American buffalo on the other, and 1 troy ounce as well, 0.999. Now, funny thing, eagles are the classic bullion coin, right? American eagles, silver eagles in this case. There's gold eagles too. But silver eagles are not 0.999. And that's probably commonly known in the silver space, but I didn't know it till the other day. And I've bought a lot of silver over the years. It's like 0.998 or 997. I mean, slightly different, but it can change tax situations. Remember this, I found out the hard way once. Some states, when you take your cash and essentially, in my opinion, turn it into silver, you're exchanging one thing of supposed value for another thing. I see it as like sort of making change, right? But some states tax you on it. And some states may tax you on a bar and not tax you on an actual uh, uh, coin that has a monetary value. While they put, I think, this one, no, this doesn't, they don't put a value on these, but on the Eagles, I think they put $50 on them, whatever. If it's a United States minted coin, I forget now if some may tax you, some may not. Some may tax you on other countries, or just random bars or rounds that are not coins. Some may tax you on one and maybe not coins that have numismatic value. Like, let's say there's a certain year of Eagles maybe where they only made so many, or it's a proof coin. There's some sort of perceived added value there. It's a collectible. That numismatic has collectible value on top of the value of the silver. They may or may not tax you on it. Different states, all different things. And I know because we had houses in different states. So I ordered some once, because you want to be home when it comes to you. You don't want to leave it laying on the porch. I open it up and I look at the thing, and they sales tax. What is this? Well, that's an immediate, depending where you live, let's say 5 to 10% loser right off the bat. Holy shit, I just lost 6.5% or 8% or 10% right off the bat. You learn that lesson real quick. I had always bought in person from a coin shop. When I bought this stuff years and years ago, I'd buy 1 bar a week or something when I was much, much younger, and just put it away. Well, buying it at the local coin shop, the guy threw a box of these out in front of me, and I went through them and just picked what I liked. And how much? $8. No tax, no nothing. I never thought twice about it when I made an order online. So just be careful there. Most of the bigger sites will have a search box where you can put your state in there and see how you get taxed. And some have changed recently. I believe Florida changed recently. Some for the good, some for the bad. But hopefully you can get around the sales tax. If you can't, I would recommend private sellers. A lot of people buy off eBay, but I consider that a last source. I don't think I'd ever buy silver, gold off of there. Too many fakes, no way to check it. I don't know enough about it. I want to go somewhere where it's safe, and I know I'm going to get what I paid for. I have one of the big online places that I've gone to for years now, and I've never had a bad experience. They're fabulous to work with, and I don't know if I'm going to call them out here. If you want to know, let me know. But I'm going to promote them to promote them, I guess. I don't know. Anyhow, put some silver away, put some gold away if you can afford it. When it comes to gold, if you can't, gold is over $2,000 now. If you're paying a premium over spot, whatever. American Eagle gold coins. When it comes to gold, it's not an 85-cent or $2 premium. It can be a couple $100 premium, $150 premium. It's a good chunk. So just know you're going to pay it. And that's why it's hard to make money overnight. When traders are making money on silver and stuff, when they're down, they're trading. They're never taking physical possession of it. So they're not paying over spot, they're paying what the market is. But when you take possession, it's different. I would not recommend buying any, and there's a lot of places say, well, you can buy it and we'll store it in our personal vault for you. So you have physical control of it. It's in our vault. You can at any time call us up and we'll ship it. You can come pick it up in 8 states away, whatever. Don't do that. Don't do that. You might as well just buy a contract then on silver or gold. You're buying this as a fail-safe and you want possession of it. If everything goes that bad that you need this, then you're not going to be able to call somebody and say, hey, ship it on out. The phones may be down. Everything electronic may be down. The place may be blown up or looted long before you even get a hold of them. If you're buying it for that reason, for a fail-safe, then take physical possession of it. I'm going to throw a few things that came up that I've learned over the years that I hadn't thought of before. Portability. So this is a lot cheaper than gold, a lot cheaper, right? And you can put a lot of it away. I've bought silver from $8 to $28. Do I look for deals? Yeah, kind of. But usually when I decide I want to buy, because I've got some extra money, I don't look at the price really. I just buy, whether it's at the high, the low. If there's things going on, I can wait a day or two. Maybe I'll watch, see what happens. But I just buy. It's a cost averaging thing to me. So I don't worry about it. And silver, what's the difference? Okay, I paid $18.50 today, and next week I paid $20. It doesn't really matter. Again, you're buying it for a fail-safe. But portability. Let's say you buy 100 coins, 1-ounce coins. That's a lot of weight to lug around with you if you had to be on the move. You can store roughly, I don't know, but what is it, 26 or 28 or 30 of these for 1 ounce of gold. A lot easier to carry one than it is a whole bunch of these, right? They get heavy quick. If anyone's ever bought a monster box, which is 500 coins, that's a lot of weight, Jack, let me tell you. Yeah, it's not necessarily easy to carry, lightweight and easy to carry. No, but there's a drawback to that too. Maybe you got 500 of these, and I don't know, 20 1-ounce pieces of gold. A lot easier to carry the 20, right? However, if this is what buys or barters for things, because cash is no good, just remember, how are you going to change a 1-ounce piece of gold that's worth, if it got that bad and you had paid $2,000, let's say, for a 1-ounce gold, it could be worth 8, 10, 15 times its money if it got that bad. So now you're walking around with, I don't know, $16,000 piece of gold, let's say, and you want to buy a loaf of bread. My change, sir. Yeah, well, you can hack it up with a wire cutter or saw it in half or whatever. Silver at 1 ounce or a half ounce, or constitutional silver, which is pre 64 stuff, or pre 64, 63, whatever it is. Back then, our coins were 90% silver. Today, there's no silver in them. So a lot of people buy bags of coin of the realm, it's called, nickels, dimes, quarters, and that's a good way to have small pieces that you can buy with without having to worry about carrying this around. But again, a lot of weight, so you want a little bit of everything as you progress in collecting it or obtaining it. I would, I think, what other pitfalls are there? Oh, here's a pitfall to the coin of the realm. You can buy a quarter bag, a half bag, a full bag of coin, or it goes by face value. So you can buy as small as $5 worth of face value, nickels, dimes, quarters, or a mix, whatever. You can buy 10 uh, $10 face value, $20 face value, $50 face value, what, and have that for smaller stuff. Problem with it, it used to be dirt cheap. It was the closest thing to spot price you could ever buy. At one point, my dad had a ton of it. I had to move it all. Trust me, I know. But it was dirt cheap compared to coins and bullion and stuff. Now, from what I understand, they're blaming it on most of this stuff's been bought up and put away, and they've melted down a ton of it. So the price has shot up. It's some of the highest overspot you can find now. So I don't know that I recommend it anymore. But you can buy bars like this from, each mint or each online place will have it. And I'm just mentioning these. I haven't done business with all of them except one, but there's JM Bullion, there's APMEX, there's Silvertown Mint. There's a million different mints out there. And most of them I've never heard a bad thing about. This I bought secondary market way back when, but this kind of stuff, like you can buy, let's say, an APMEX 1 ounce bar, or it looks like a coin, a 1 ounce round, and it'll just say APMEX Mint or whatever, or Silvertown Mint. And while they might not be the most recognizable, trust me, if it gets to where you're using this, people selling things will know how to tell. I can tell. You can tell by the sound. It's not like steel or any other metal. It's not a good. You drop it on a granite counter or something, it rings. You can hear steel, silver. You can hear it. Now that in itself doesn't make it what it is, but as you collect it, as you hold it, fool around with it, you get to know sort of what's what. And as you research and learn. That being said, you go buy a bunch of uncirculated eagles, like 20 of them in a tube, for direct from the mint, and you pull them out and start playing with them, and you drop one and ding it up, or your oils in your fingers tarnish it, or you scratch it, or whatever. They're not worth as much, so don't go playing with them. In some cases, don't even open them. Maybe you got to open them to inspect them, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I'm far enough in where if you want to play with them, buy a couple single stuff and play with them. But I used to carry this around in my pocket all the time just because I liked it. It was one of those things you could, like a worry stone almost, or something like that. It's just, I always have something I'm playing with because I'm busybody. But trying to think what else. So portability, think of that. Think about where you're going to keep it, where you're going to store it. Well, I got a gun safe. I'll put it in my gun safe. I probably wouldn't do that. If they break in your house and they have even a little bit of time, they'll find a gun safe. Let's say they get in it because they probably would like guns more than, well, I guess cash they'd like the best, but Guns could be higher than cash or just under. I wouldn't keep it in the same spot. Don't put it in a safe deposit box. Don't do that. Um, Keep it somewhere. Find a better spot for it that no one's going to find. Although I've seen homes burglarized where the person breaking in knew the people had things of value and knew maybe they had cash and or precious stuff. And I've seen them even slit the hems on draperies open looking for stuff. Unbelievable how they tore into stuff looking. So they get pretty, if they know, that's the other thing, shut your mouth. Don't go telling everybody what you got. And here I am saying it on YouTube, but I didn't tell you how much I have. I may have these two pieces, or I may have $1 million worth. You know, I wouldn't have $1 million worth, but keep it somewhere safe. Split it up if you can. What if you're somewhere that you frequent? Maybe go away for the weekend. Maybe have a summer house. Maybe a cottage. Maybe a relative's. What if you get caught there when it hits the fan? You may want to have some on you, right? Or stored in another place. That way, too, if you do get a crime happens, they don't get everything, right? Yeah. Now, if you're one of these people that are going to go out and buy a ridiculous amount, more than, I don't know, $1,000, $500, I don't know. You may want to think about some kind of other secure storage. I don't know. I'd say don't be looking at spot price every day. Forget about it. Buy it and forget about it. Put it away. Now, if you hear something in the news, yeah, silver's tearing up, it's at all-time highs, maybe we'll look at it and sell it. I don't know. But by the time you hear about it, you probably missed it anyway. So I don't know. I don't ever see me selling it. I see me handing it down for a safety net for the next generation. That's all it is. It is a store of value. If you need it, it's the most liquid thing on the planet. You can walk in, every town, I don't care how small, has a coin shop. Or maybe even, I'd stay away from pawn shops, but call around, find out what they're paying for what you got. And like I said, some will bring more over spot or less or whatever based on what it is. But call around, tell them what you got, and see what they'll pay you. It's liquid that quick, that quick. You could probably find a friend or someone that would buy it from you. That's the other thing. You buy 1 ounce stuff or half-ounce stuff or whatever, and you have things are tight, and a furnace goes out, and you need $500 or something, or $200. Well, it's easier to sell a few ounces versus, I have a 100-ounce bar or a kilo bar or something. Now I get it. We're normal guys, so we're probably not going to have kilos of silver or gold laying around. But something to think about. Low denominations again. Not to say you shouldn't have big stuff if you can afford it. You probably should. Just mix it up is what I'm saying. I buy silver first, and later when you can, buy gold. And again, 1 ounce is where you're not going to pay the big premium. You go less than that, half ounce, quarter ounce, gram, 10 grams, you pay big premiums over spot on fractional coins, they're called. So on silver, okay, maybe, so you can trade. Hell, you probably over the years have put away a handful of coins pre-60, 3 or 4 that are 90% silver. That'd be fine. Remember, if it comes time where you got to use this, the price has shot up exponentially. If I don't know, tomorrow an EMP hits, everything electronics down, banking's down, everything's down. This will immediately be worth it. I would, and I'm guessing, but 8, 10 times what you paid for it. So, It becomes, just remember what was $20 today, something like that. What you bought it for happens. It's could be worth, instead of $20, it could be worth $150 in value of stuff. And again, the stuff probably went up too, so who knows? But it's a hedge against inflation, always has been, and it's a store of value. It's never been worth zero. I'm just repeating things people say, but now think about those sayings. It's a hedge against inflation. When inflation rises, this rises. Hasn't really been true. I mean, yes, over years and years, but you would think when you see what we have, 8%, 9%, 10% inflation, whatever the real number is these days, you would think this would be up. And now I guess it is finally, but now it's been dropping the last few days too. So I don't know. I do think there's market manipulation going on. I think they've artificially been keeping the price of gold and silver down to some extent. How big, I don't know. But I do believe they've been doing that. And why? Because if it did shoot up, it might cause a panic. So I think that's why it hasn't been. There's a lot of speculation as to how they manipulate the market. Some is known, like the Hunt brothers back in the 70s or 80s, whatever it was. People went to jail over that. But who knows? Some say that the supply of silver is not as large as they say it is. The more silver out there, the lower the price stays. So a lot of people say that it's artificially low because they say they have way more. What is it? Costco, not Costco. The organization that has all this silver. I don't know if it's a brokerage company or what, but some people believe that they have nowhere near the amount of silver that they claim. There's way more out there, and there isn't. That the true value could be ridiculous if the truth was known. Same with gold. And with silver, we're using a ton of this stuff every day in industry, in the medical field, in clothing. If your wife likes, or maybe you do, they make some good pants. A company called what is it? Lululemon. Lululemon puts silver in their workout pants to fight bacteria and odor. It's used in a ton of things. The best burn cream in the world is Silvadine. It's got real silver in it. You'll put it on the burn, a bad burn. Tomorrow morning, it's gone. But also your sheets and whatever you wore to bed has black streaks everywhere the next morning. Why? Because the real silver in it got on your sheets and tarnished overnight, and now everything you slept in is black. And it doesn't come out very easy. Ask me how I know. So silver is used up every day, and I guess they'll keep mining it. Some say that the price at some points has been lower than the cost of production. So you'd say, well, how does that work? Well, it doesn't. If the price of silver, physical silver, ever goes below what they say the price of production is, start buying. Then again, like I said, I don't pay attention to what the price is. When I have the cash to buy it, I just buy it. Whether it's at its all-time high or its all-time low or somewhere in between, I just buy it. There's a reason. Either I have the money or I feel the need that I need some or whatever. I don't pay attention to it. It'll all average out over time. I'd probably keep more silver than gold. I don't know, 30, 70, 40, 60. In a perfect world, I've never had that kind of money put away to be able to buy that much gold in whatever other things I'm doing. I just don't. I have next to zero probably in reality. Um, but I do have enough silver that I think when it's needed, like I said, the value shoot up. Based off that value, I think I have enough to get through whatever. Maybe it's short term, who knows, whatever. But I would certainly be looking at some if you don't have any right now. And if you want to add a little to some existing stuff. Again, guys, we'll put everything in it. A lot of wisdom in spreading things out. But I don't think cash is where you want to be right now. If you have a savings account with X in it, obviously you keep some cash, but I feel much safer right now having some precious metals rather than cash. If you had an excess, I know this sounds stupid because most of us, this never happens to, but I have an excess amount in my checking account. Yeah, no, I wouldn't keep that around in cash. I don't think cash is smart right now. And hey, maybe I buy this and I got to sell it 2 months from now and I lose a little bit. Big deal. At least I have it. At least it's not zero. At least I wasn't in a bank in California or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Whenever banks start closing, the automotive industry issues I was talking to you about, those are huge, guys. I'm telling you right now, I did it for 40 years. Yes, on the retail end, but I understand the wholesale end and the banking portion of it and everything. And I'm telling you right now, this is going to be big. Wait, give it, I don't know, a few weeks, a month, 2 months. Trust me when I tell you, it's going to hit the news. You'll be sitting eating dinner one night, hear something go, huh? What? Oh, that's Rock was talking about that. I promise you. Just like the federal digital coin, the federal ID, the stuff I was telling you. Now, Ron DeSantis was talking about it, and they're passing laws in Florida to stop it. And my wife would be quiet. Yeah, it's crazy talk, conspiracy theory. She got real serious real quick the last month or so. She's like, she won't tell me, wow, you were right. She won't tell me that ever. Just like she'll never say she's sorry. But all of a sudden she's like, yeah, she's on board. Get yourself those things you need now. If you need a car, I don't know what I'd tell you on a car, man. If you got something solid, low miles, I guess stick with it. I'd say pay your bills off if you can. If you have debt, get rid of debt first. I think in several scenarios of what's coming, debt is going to be a bigger problem than having stuff put away. I don't know. I have one scenario then where I think, well, that'll go away. So charge up the credit cards all the way. No, I'm not saying that. That I don't know, guys. I don't know. I just know what I know. I think will always be safe. Some people say, well, back in the Depression in 33, the government confiscated all the gold and silver. They made you turn it in. Yeah, they did. They recalled it all. It was actually illegal for a citizen to own gold or silver. And it stayed that way for a long time. You were asked to turn it in and they set a price for it, and that's what you got for it, regardless of what you paid for it. That would be really shitty right now, right? But nobody says you got to turn it in either. If they don't know you got it, you say, well, I bought it from a big online place with a credit card. Yeah, there's probably a record, but You've sold a lot of gold and silver over the years, haven't you? Or maybe you had a tragic gold and silver boating accident. It went down right with all your other crap, right? That's like, God, it's like the sinking of the Atocha. There's divers out looking for it, moving thousands of tons of sand to find the wreckage of the beer bomber or whatever you named your boat. Yep, a fortune in precious metals, coins, doubloons, and Taurus firearms. That'd be quite amusing, wouldn't it? Anyhow, let's see who else is in here. Orient Fixer. I've had a 2 AA mag lights for at least 25 years. My second one for the last 8 years. First one was incandescent bulb. Damn, I can't spell. Neither can I, don't worry. But man, you ever turn that incandescent one on and go, what the hell is this shit? Oh my God. You can't see anything. How did we ever use those things? Or how about those big lanterns that held the big square batteries? I forget what they even call them. I have a couple of them, and it was the only thing I could find the other day, and the battery was still good. I went click. I couldn't find my privates in the dark with that thing. I mean, my God, they're horrible. How did we do anything with the lighting of the past? Mag lights were like as good as it got, right? And they're still, some are good, but nothing like you when you're using one, you go, God, I wish I had my other LED, it's terrible. Hard to go wrong with Maglite. They're more than the Chinese brands, but they will never fail you, and they're not ridiculous money like some of this stuff out there. And let me tell you, I have yet to find a really good Chinese light. I'm trying to think, like what's the one brand? It started out as like a gas station or hardware store flashlight and gained a bit of reputation. I can't remember the names. They had one that was a red line, rechargeable. It was really nice. And Nebo is one of them. Nebo is like a better Chinese light, but they're still junk at the end of the day. They end up screwing up somehow. The switches usually. Just buy a damn mag light and be done. But that being said, it's funny you brought this up tonight because I specifically looked for mag lights. I wanted to get a couple more at Home Depot the other day, and there were no mag lights to be found. Not one. Didn't look like they stocked them. I was shocked. I meant to ask about them, and I forgot about it. I got to find out if they still carry them. I hope Maglite didn't go down with COVID or something. God, imagine what that makes those worth. Maybe you can stack Maglites instead of silver or something. What else can we talk about? So cars, I don't know what to tell you in that market, although there'll be a flood of the used car market of cheap cars because of the repos that are going to start happening and the glut of cars out there. So maybe it's time to wait, but if you wait, you could be facing inflation or you could be facing not having anything to buy it with. I don't know. Who knows? Nobody's got a crystal ball. I'm just telling you how I feel. But things that you can still buy that aren't inflated and are necessities that you maybe have just been putting off a little bit. Now is the time. If you have enough of your collection is all good, forget about it. You got enough. You got more than you'll ever need. Concentrate on the other things. That's my advice to you. Do you have a generator? Generators you can get. I was at Costco the other day. You can get like a 4,000 watt. No, there was even a 7,500 watt. Under 5, there was a inverter 3,500, 4,000 peak inverter style, meaning the quiet ones like a Honda. And it was a newer brand. It started with an F. I can't remember what it is, but quality, I've read about them. Really good, nice looking unit under 500 bucks. What I might do in addition to, I don't know that I would rely on it as my main power generator or source of power, but a lot of people are buying solar generators. To me, that term shouldn't even exist because it's not a generator. What they're calling solar generators are merely battery packs that you can recharge from solar. But when you read all about them and their descriptions, yep, it looks like a generator, right? They take a lithium battery and put it on a cart with four wheels, but nicely done. So it looks like some sort of modern generator, but it's merely a battery packaged in there. And sure, yeah, there's an inverter built into it, and you can plug maybe your RV or a refrigerator or a cell phone or whatever you want to use the power for. You can plug into it. But just know that it's a lithium battery with the power being inverted to 110. And once you run it down, the only really fast and efficient way to recharge it is to plug it into the wall. Well, if you have, let's see, power's out. I've got a generator, but I need power to charge it. You mean there's no motor? No, there's no motor. But you have this briefcase solar panel that puts out 2.2 watts an hour or something. I don't know. It's ridiculous. When you go to charge those big solar generators, to recharge them on solar is no fast proposition. It is a long time. You can charge them from your car. Sure. Okay. Well, if everything's down, how are the pumps at the gas station running to pump the fuel out of the ground to put it in my car to plug my generator in to charge my, again, more foolishness, right? Sure, you want, they should be called solar battery packs. That's what they should be called, not solar generators. And do I see a need for them? Sure, I'd love to have one as in addition to a generator, because that generator, I can charge my solar generator faster. Store gas. Gas cans are expensive today, guys. 5-gallon cans are like 25 bucks now. And for that crazy amount of money you pay for them, you also get that piece of shit nozzle they give you that's mandated by the government. If you can find gas cans at garage sales, stuff like that, farm auctions, whatever, buy all you can find for $2, $3, $5. I would just put away at least enough fuel to fuel your car or cars in a pinch. So if your tank holds 25 gallons, put 25 gallons away. Put enough away then for the generator, maybe other tools on it, stuff like that. If think about this, you think, well, if things were that bad, I'm not going to need to mow my lawn. I don't need gas for that. Well, maybe you do, because the minute you start letting grass grow up tall around your house, and maybe because of everything else going on, there's a bit of a drought, and the grass dries up and turns brown, and now your house is surrounded by a giant friggin' flammable mess. You might want to mow the lawn to keep it down. I don't know. I'm just saying. You might be burned out of your shelter in a storm. I don't know. But things to think about. Put away what makes sense to you. And once you get your bases covered, put away more. Food. You don't need crazy, expensive freeze-dried stuff. Would I have some? Sure. Would I have MREs? Sure. But they're expensive. They used to not be. But even without inflation and everything, they've went up in price ridiculously over the years. Um, Canned goods, just as good. Freeze-dried coffee, stuff like that. Things you can barter with. You can always barter with ammunition, cigarettes, tobacco, and booze, batteries. You have some of that stuff, extras of it. You can get just about anything you want with one of those, right? Um, Meds. I'll tell you this personally, I've had a huge issue for 4 or 5 months now getting my regular everyday meds I take. Shortages, made in China, whatever. Uh, Two of my prescriptions, I have friends, coworkers, they can't get their cholesterol meds, stuff like that. We're not talking just about everyone's heard in the news Adderall. Well, there's way more than that. I've heard 30% of the medications, like everyday medications people take, there's a shortage of. Um, if you can get your hands on antibiotics, do it. I told you that date, I think it's May 26th. You no longer will be able to buy animal antibiotics at a farm store, fish antibiotics. You will need a veterinarian's prescription. I'm not telling you to do it. It's dangerous if you don't know what to do. It's never the best route. I'm not advocating it at all. But if you have a ton of fish at home or something like that, and you want some of that, you're not going to be able to get it after May 26th. There's a company out there that you can call them, tell them what you need, or even what you want to have on hand, because you may have a need, and they will fill it, send multiple antibiotics for different problems, storage amount, and storage amount, and they're not crazy, and you can put it away for your family. Shelf life, well, they'll go bad. That's bullshit, all of it. The Army did a huge test because, of course, the Army buys things in mass quantities. They had all these antibiotics and other meds too laying around. So the Army did a test a few years ago. And while they saw a decrease in potency in some, none was bad enough to get rid of it or it was no good anymore. It was all good. Good enough to use and be effective. It lost very little potency in most cases, and none of it went bad. Um, so, if you are lucky enough to have a good physician who might do you a favor, or maybe you had an antibiotic prescribed for some reason and didn't use it at the time, save it, hang on to it. Don't have a med kit? Get a good med kit. Get maybe a med kit or an IFAC or a larger medical kit that has even some of the stuff you don't know how to use yet. Learn how to use it. Go take a course while you can. Something at least one person in the family should know. Don't have a nurse or a doctor in the family? Go get educated. Take a class. Take an advanced class if you can. Buy a book. Start reading. Watch videos. This channel thing we're on here, this platform, there's tons out there. Am I saying it's all right or proper? No. But if you watch more than one or two or three videos, the average person with common sense and a little bit of knowledge will pretty quick find out the absolute don'ts and maybe the do's, or maybe some things are much easier than you ever thought they were. And let's face it, we're not talking about, well, should I stitch little Johnny's lung back in his chest or should I run him to the emergency room? We're not talking about that. If you have to use these skills, there's a serious problem and no one's coming to help. Okay? So better to learn something than nothing. Maybe you simply learn, well, I'm not going to try that because it'll most likely kill him and I'm not skilled enough. That's fine. At least you learned something. Um, but all I'm telling you is the stuff you've put off. What is that noise? That might be a mastiff snoring. Either that or somebody is sawing their way through my wall. I don't know. For those of you that have never heard a mastiff snore, boy, are you in for a treat the first time you hear that. They make me look like child's play when they go to town. Anyhow, that's what I'm telling you guys. If you feel there's a need, or that what you're needing may inflate soon or become in short supply, I'm telling you, your money's never going to be worth more than it is right now. Your cash money. Yeah, it may come down soon. It may come down 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It may come down tomorrow. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, I've been making some decisions that, hey, I not only maybe things aren't inflating, but maybe, just maybe, that cash money, that paper will go away. I might as well use some now, kind of feeling. If you're paying bills day to day, I don't know what to tell you. It's tough. I get it. It's a bad spot to be when conditions get like they are now. And nothing may happen, but something may. And it's always good to have that debt paid down. So if that's what you got to work on, then work on that. Maybe I'd split it up a little. Stuff to put away, pay down the debts. I don't know what to tell you, but I would do a little of both. So that is my advice. Now, here's the point at 2 hours and 17 minutes where I say, I should start wrapping this up. But 3 hours from now, I'll be doing that. Now, let's get back in here and see what you guys, what have you put away lately? Have you guys had that same feeling in the panic, or just something's telling you things just aren't right? Or I don't know, maybe you're some degree of it, you know. It's been building up enough to where I am extremely uncomfortable and even losing sleep over it. Not because I'm scared, just that my mind is working so hard to try and be on the right side of it. You know what I mean? Because I've worked too hard for what I have, what my family has. I've worked way too hard to want to take, let alone maybe miles and miles backwards. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what you guys got going on. Tell us what you guys are thinking, how you're feeling about things, maybe what you need to stock up on or get. Maybe you guys have something I missed there. There's a ton I missed. So maybe you got some ideas. I don't know. Let's see. Tim Farley, message retracted. I just buy lead. Yeah, there's a lot that subscribe to that. But, if you're into it, you probably got a small lead mine going, so you're good. I protect mine in copper. There you go. Good move. Huh? You ever hear a chihuahua snore? Sounds like my chihuahua just ran by. I heard him. I call him Machine Gun Kelly because of the way he sounds when he walks by. Dogs are so cool. I love them all. Big, small, they're cool. Cool dog's a cool dog, right? So I was telling you, we did the SAM 5 follow-up. We were lucky enough, and the representative from Arsenal was nice enough to come in and chat in my video and come on the live stream and talk about the issues. And there is an issue because they're coming up with a fix for it. And I told him, hey, I'll call you this week and we'll talk. Life got too busy, too busy. And if he's listening, it wasn't because I wanted to blow you off. I truly appreciate that you took the time and effort to address a problem directly like that, or a perceived problem. So if any of you have seen it, you've seen the little bit of deformation in the bolt stem. The paint and that stuff, that's normal, guys. I think some people thought, oh, this guy doesn't know shit about AKs and doesn't know what he's talking about. No, I get it. Trust me, I get it. I realize AKs wear in, and they wear in well, and they get smoother with every shot, and paint comes off of bolts, unless you got a Yugo and it's in the raw, but or something like that. But yeah, it happens. Receivers, the paint comes off where the carrier rides, and they get smoother and smoother. And I got one that I swear is worn so thin that one day it's just going to be junk. But yeah, I get it. But there was definitely some deformation there. I was just afraid with the such an incredibly low round count, like 100 to 200 rounds, that much change. I don't worry about uh, bolt carrier tails and all that, a little mushrooming. They all did. You guys didn't live through the Tapco trigger days when you could have a tail on your carrier that looked like a mushroom. It was so smashed, and the gun still worked, and nobody cared. And well, they did. They bitched, whatever. But Tapco triggers were the problem. It deformed enough with those super low rounds that even I went, whoa, you know. And so I was thinking about it, and initially I was kind of worried, like, oh God, I got to send the gun back. I've never really had to do that. What a pain in the ass. I really didn't want to do it. And so I was just kind of putting it off. And then Misha did his other video shooting it to see how far it would go, and see if anything would happen. And if you guys remember, I had thought the same way. I thought, boy, I wish I could just run a bunch of rounds, see if it stopped. And then I thought, but what are they going to say on warranty? Because I put the video out already and they know it only had 100. And now I go make it super bad and they're not going to fix it. But at the end of the day, I thought, you know what? I haven't talked to the rep yet, but he's reaching out. When I mentioned maybe putting a bunch of rounds through it, he didn't say anything. So I thought, all right, let's go. I'll put a bunch of rounds through it. So I took it out yesterday, literally, and we ran 300 rounds through it. Wasn't a ton, but I didn't have a ton of time on my hands, and we'll run more. But I ran 60 rounds of steel case and the rest in brass. And we've got some results. And the video, that's why I was late coming on, as I was finishing putting that together. So we'll be uploading immediately after the live stream. It probably won't make it out tonight, maybe late if it does. But if not tomorrow, you'll have it for sure, positively. It's done. It's just uploading it. So you'll get that. You'll see, because 300 rounds, I was just shooting from the bench. And I didn't want anyone to think I didn't shoot those rounds. So we videotaped them. I put just about most of them in the video, and I sped it up. I've never done that with my videos. I don't think it's right in most cases. It's just weird. And to me, I always thought that's somebody that doesn't know how to edit. But in this case, it's, and I ran through it. So when you're seeing that, just know you're going to get to the results at the end. That's for you guys that are always here watching my live streams and stuff. And you'll see if it stopped or not on the SAM 5. And I'm going to run more. And we're going to see what happens. Go from there. But you'll find it interesting either way. And we got more coming. Talked about local prices and what's around at local stores. Hopefully things are well by you with everything. I don't know if what you guys are thinking about, just everything going on, and the amount of gun control and the economy and the banks, and just, boy, it sure seems like a perfect storm, doesn't it? I don't get worried about much, but sometimes I wish for being young and naive, or you don't got anything to worry about if you ain't got nothing, right? I guess. I don't know. But or maybe just age makes you worry. I don't know. I know it ages you, that's for sure. Um, what else? What else? What else before we sign off here? Trying to think of anything else in the gun side of things here. Um, I don't know. Yeah, nobody's chat's not too busy here. I was hoping I'd hear from some of you what you think. Um, yeah, definitely the lead side. Like I said, I'm pretty sure everyone in here probably has enough pew-pews. They just need some freedom seeds, if anything. So right now, I'd go with the freedom seeds and put off the other stuff for now. It'll be there. Uh, there's not that many people doling out a lot of money for uh, collections right now, stuff like that. But get a little bit of what keeps you safe and just keep stuff on hand. The gasoline's a big one. Um, whether you're going to need it or not, whether you're going to stay home or bug out, uh, you can always use it. It's tradable, all of that. Staples, flour, sugar, salt. We got chickens. I'm building a chicken coop right now. We've had them for years, and our flock got decimated. And we sold the coop and stuff, and my wife really missed them. And then price of eggs pissed her off, so she got more. So they're getting big already, and I love having them around. It's awesome. You end up with more eggs than you could ever use. You're trying to give them away to everybody, and they're fun to have around. They keep the bugs down. The grass looks good. Everything. We let them roam. Yeah, there's danger to that, but hawk could pick them off. Ours, it was a neighbor dog. I thought it was coyotes. It was a neighbor puppy. So be careful there if you're going to let them roam, or free range. But that's the best way to do it. The eggs are better. Everything. What else? What else? What else? Make sure you're out there practicing. I hear we're finally going to warm up a bit here, so that'll be nice. That will be nice. We'll see. We still got snow on the ground, lots of it. Yeah. Oh, the reloading end of things. I was telling you that we went through the boot thing earlier. I went overboard, but that's how much I love them, and that's how good they are. And even the new ones, guys, you'd love them. I just know those little things changed it for me, so they're not as good as. But for the money, they are as good or better than 20 pairs of other boots I've tried and had over the years. That good. But another thing I can't say enough about is that Dillon XL750 reloading machine. It just continues to amaze and get better and better. I've made a few little additions that are game changers in themselves, and it loads the most beautiful, perfect ammunition faster than you could. There's times where I'm pulling for all I'm worth. It's just that fast. As fast as I can put that bullet in there. I mean, and I could get a bullet feeder, but then I'd feel like I'm not doing anything. I don't know. But and the 550s are great, the 650s if you found an old one. But that 750, man, it's a cat's ass. I love it. It makes perfect ammo. I have it redoing my brass now. I have a head set up for that. God, it's awesome. It's so awesome. Ammo is cheap right now. 5.56 green tip, $8 a box retail at a retail store, not even a mail order, internet. $8 a box retail. That's cheap for green tip. Haven't seen it at that in a long, long time. Eight times 50 is $450 a thousand, right? That's cheap retail, guys. Yeah, really cheap for green tip. Personally, I load for my ARs. For self-defense, for precision, for everything. I load 75 grainers and 68 grainers. I have 55s for plinking and drill practice and stuff like that. But 68 and 75, and I'm good, man. They are awesome, awesome, awesome rounds. Loading a lot of 308 right now because I just let it drift down and I had a ton of brass and just run a ton of 308. So you're going to be seeing the AR-10 come out, my Aero Precision, and we're going to go to that 3-power primary arms prism on it. Remember, that 308 is not built like a precision rifle. It's accurate as hell, and it could be with a barrel change, I guess, because I did everything else like it is. But it's a 16-inch barrel. So it's kind of like a carbine, a battle rifle carbine. And yeah, it hasn't failed us yet. It runs like a Swiss watch. I know, what's his name from T-Rex? Not T-Rex. What's the name of his channel? The Holster Kid. He did a video on Aero Precision 308s, and it didn't make it through the test, he said. Pin and the firing pin went bad, and I think a firing pin, retaining pin, the cotter pin dealy, that failed. A few other things, I don't know. He just he basically said, nope, it failed. It's not going to hold up. Well, I think it's the best thing out there, other than one or two, maybe the Armalite. I don't know. It's solid. It's been solid. Aero Precision makes everything. There's so many companies making stuff out there that DPMS pattern or this pattern, that pattern, and guys just it's for an AR-10, so it'll work. No, you can't rely on that. A lot of stuff is not within spec for what the other spec is you're using. There is no spec really, but other than DPMS and whatever, the Aero is the closest. They may have it all for their rifle. And that's not to say I didn't use outside parts from other manufacturers. I did, and I just did the research, and it works flawlessly. And most of the changes I went outside the box on are to do with the buffer and spring. And I did a ton of research and relied on a guy that knows his stuff at it's a website, and I can't say the whole thing, but it's Heavy Buffers. Heavy Buffers. Well, and go over there, and even on the website he lays it out for you, but it's a little confusing. And then to top it off, I went with a stock that supports the M5 buffer tube, which is a length of buffer tube that is between a carbine length and a rifle length. It was originally developed for the Marines so they could get rid of their 20-inch upper, throw an M4 upper on it, and the gun work right without having to change the buffer and stock and everything. That's what it was originally designed for, and I run it on this because A, less recoil, B, it's just great. It's cool, but it takes a little figuring and ciphering to figure out what spring to put it this way, my buffer is like 11 ounces. It's insane. It's extra heavy buffer. He makes them. They're beautiful. And you just got to put the right spring in with the right stock, depending on if you're using a carbine buffer, rifle buffer, or one of these M5s that a lot of people may know of, have not used, and have never set a gun up to run with them, let alone a 308 with it. So there can be a lot of trial and error, or you go to a guy that knows, and this guy knows. Heavy Buffers. Pretty simple, but nice stuff. And it works flawlessly. Trust what he says implicitly. Tell him what you got. Tell him what you're doing. He will say, do this with this. and you're done. And it works flawlessly. And I have a video on it. Go check it out. A couple videos, and we'll bring you some more from that thing. It's a fire-breathing dragon, let me tell you. And if you don't hit your target, you will either burn all their hair off at close range, or they'll drop dead from the concussion, one of the two, but or three. So it's efficient in all ways. So go check it out. Funny. I'm friggin' hysterical, aren't I? We got a bunch of comments all of a sudden. Scottish and Irish to more Irish. Yeah, that's what I meant. I knew she was Irish. You knew I went to Ireland last year, right? I never thought I'd want to go there. And I went at a time when I didn't want to go anywhere because of things I had going on. Well, you know. But I loved that country. It was fabulous. And contrary to popular belief, it is, the food was magnificent. They have really outdone themselves. The chefs there, the restaurants, fabulous. And just the sights and the people, I loved it. I want to go back. There's another comment here. Any news on your new property? No. I am a little scared of committing to the new property without some action on the place down south. And we put it on the market early, like February, and I'm kind of kicking myself, but I had to, so I wouldn't miss out on this property. And we just haven't had any action. Had a little initial bump, and the realtor, as well as some other industry people, tell me, look, don't worry about it. You started really early. The season isn't there. And I know it's not, because our season for my business isn't here yet, and it should have been already. But the weather is just dragging. And then, that season, people that are moving, especially ones with kids, are waiting till school's done because to start their earnest look. So we're going to give it a few weeks. We think we're priced right with the market, and we'll see what happens. It's not absolutely necessary, but I feel much more comfortable if I had something working, and then I just bang, go make. May do it either way, just because it wouldn't be the full property at that point. It'd be a part of it, but it'd be a place I could store or turn cash into something else, because I don't want to be in cash at all right now. I just don't. I don't have faith in it. I really don't. I want it gone, go away, turn into something else, anything else, any store of value. Other than the stock or bond market. I want something physical, property, something. I don't know. Anything. That's how I feel right now. So I still may be able to do it that way without worrying about this. I just got to see. And it sounds stupid, like, man, you should be paying attention to this. I have. I can't not pay attention to work. That comes first, because without work comes no reward, which throws everything into chaos. Don't be one of those people, guys, that when you got things going on, you pay attention to everything but work. Pay attention to work first. And if it's meant to be, the rest will fall in line. If it's not, it's not in my book. God has a plan. I know that for sure. And so tomorrow, actually, I'm going to be spending my day crunching some numbers and looking at things and thinking hard, and maybe we will make a move, but it won't be I want the whole thing more than I originally thought I wanted. But some's better than nothing, and I think I can kill two birds with one stone. That being, protect funds and turn it into something physical. Property, commercial or farmland, you can't go wrong with farmland. You just can't. So we'll see. And it brings in an income too. So I just really got to sit down and spend the time with it. And that's what I'm going to try and do tomorrow. Okay. You're thinking of T-Rex arms. Yeah, Lucas. I like Lucas. At first, he was annoying to me. Just seemed like this young kid that, what's this kid know? But he is so motivated and just, and then what they do, their employees, their church, their everything, those kids, all the brothers are just seem so well-rounded and good people, and the kind of people you'd like to do business with or hang out with or learn from. Just and the advice they give. I think they truly care about others in this world or in this community, the firearm community, and people that have the same mindset as them. Just good people. And damn, that kid's fast. He started out nothing. He learned all that live and in color on the channel from when they started to what he is now. And the kid he's got some chops. I'll give him that. I wish I was young again, let me tell you. It just shows how slow you've gotten. That's all. Anyhow, if you got any questions or any thoughts or something you just want to run by me and what my thoughts are, hey, email me, drop something on a video, a comment. I'll look for it. And I'll get that Sam video loaded up tonight. Look forward to that. Yeah. Anything else you want to see, let me know. And yeah, thank God winter's over because reloading season is almost over then. And I've been doing, oh my God. Forget about factory ammo, but I've made more. I went overboard. I love it. It's my time to slow down, my time to slow the brain down and relax and just meditation almost to me. I do it every night. I go out and do at least 100 rounds of something, and it's hard to only do 100 rounds on a Dillon. So you just keep going, and all of a sudden you look and it's 1 a.m. and you've got cans full of ammo everywhere. And yeah, but it gets expensive too because it's not cheaper to reload anymore than it is to buy. I could buy a lot more factory than I am reloading, but I enjoy it. And they're accurate, and they work. I can custom tailor them to my individual rifles, and yeah, why not? Why not? If you enjoy it, go for it. That being said, if you're buying ammo and stuff, don't. I didn't talk about it here, but remember what we just came out of, and think about what reloading could have done for you during that. Like I said, I never went through one factory round that entire ammo crisis. I had enough reloading components put away with. I had to add more, and I found them, but it would have been nice to not have to search for them, already have them on hand. So putting away reloading components is just as good as putting away ammo. Put some away. Have a little bit of everything. Have, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. I like having 3 solutions. I want 3 ways to make a fire. I want 3 ways to make energy. I want 3 ways to barter and have a way to pay for things. I want 3 modes of transportation. I want, if I can, in a perfect world, certainly 2. And once you get 2, start working on the 3rd. Critical stuff, meds, all that good stuff. I told you guys about a water pump that if you're on well and septic, that you can slide right in your well casing alongside it, and the power goes out for a long period of time. You can get as much water as you want without having to run around. Because running around ain't going to be easy if it's that bad and you can't get gas and all that other stuff. And again, guys, please don't take it like, oh my God, this is what he's saying. And no, I just it's here on the light end of it. Things are worse than they ever have been, really, on a lot of fronts, and there's so many moving pieces of it. Economy, um, uh, bills being introduced or passed, um, inflation and food supply issues, um, everything to come together. That there's so many signs that, if anything, use it as a push to get you off the couch and doing something. And I pray nothing comes of it. I hope nothing comes of it. It's just got the spidey senses really tingling. And I want to keep my family safe and happy and living the lives they deserve and have earned, and what I want to give them. And I want to preserve all of that. So if there's ever a time to just double check everything, batten down the hatches, and see what happens, see how bad the storm gets, now's the time. That's all I'm saying. Please don't take it as, oh my God, the sky's falling. It might be, but I'm not running for cover yet. I'm just preparing to cover. That's all. Anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I know the last 2 weeks have been way less on firearms than they normally are, and other things surrounding it. But I think if there was ever a good time to talk about it, and a time when people need some information, uh, you know, um, none of us have experience in, I guess, the real bad end of this stuff if it were to happen. But some of us had longer to think about it. That's all. Or read about it or whatever. So if there's something you're not clear on, or a choice to make, and what would work better or something like that, and I can help, I'm happy to help you out. So ask. Don't be afraid to ask. And that is all I got, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, we're pushing 3 hours, 2 hours, 47 minutes. My knees are killing me from sitting this long. My calves are cramping. I won't be able to walk when I stand up. So I got to go. Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks as always. I appreciate it. I have fun with it. And I hope you guys glean a little bit of information. I hope it helps you, and helps you keep your family safe, healthy, wealthy, and wise. That's all we can ask for, right? So, like my dad said, if money can fix a problem, you don't have a problem. Don't think of it as, oh, you got to have money. That's not the case. And what it means is, if money can fix it, it's fixable. It's not the unfixable, like terminal cancer or something like that. You can fix it. So don't worry about it. Fix it. That's all. All right. That's all I got. And be safe, and love you all. Thanks for all the help you give the channel. And pass the word. Tell your friends. And come on back and watch the video tomorrow. Come back on Tuesdays and watch the live stream. Join in the chat. It's fun. It's been a little slow over there, guys. Where's Joe at? Anyhow, thanks again. And as always, Rockford Ordnance out.